This morning, Trish Smith. It is with great pleasure that I introduce her, as she is one of our amazing healers, mediums, and teachers. Trish was born with the gifts to see spirits and started seeing them from a very early age. And she's been a practicing professional psychic medium since the 1980s and has lived in Cassadaga area for many years. Trish lives here in the camp, just down the street, where she sees clients regularly. Please join me in welcoming Trish Smith.
Good morning. Happy New Year. How many of you made resolutions? How many make resolutions and actually follow them? Very good. 2025 was a number 9 year, which is endings. And I think most of us are glad that it's over. 2026, when you add the numbers up, is a 1 year, which is new beginnings. January is also a 1 month. Today's a 4. Well, we've got the 1 with the new beginnings. The 4 is stability and hard work and looking forward to change. You add those up, the 2 1s and the 4, and you get a 6. And that's your higher spiritual energies coming in of compassion, love, divine love, cooperation, communication. I hope we have a whole lot of number 6 days throughout the year, because we definitely need that. We also need the stability. But a lot of people look at the beginning of the year not just for resolutions, but also to try and get rid of things that weren't working. And that's a good idea, to be objective and look at what's not working in your life and try and adjust it. Don't just automatically slam the door on it, because maybe you were supposed to figure out how to make it work. Not only for your own edification, but for those around you. Now, how do we do that? Well, as you know, spiritualism is based on natural law. There's a thing called the law of polarity. And some things, like love and hate, are the same vibration. It's just a little difference in frequency. So think about, let's say, you're wanting to listen to a rock station, 105.9, but you keep getting static and you just haven't adjusted it right, and you keep coming up with country instead. So if you learn to just adjust the frequency a little at a time, you'll find clarity. Because like I said, think of a magnet, and one side's negative, one side's positive. Where does the love start? Where does the hate start? So by finding the sweet spot, then you know how to adjust what you want to in your life. So don't just automatically slam the door and say, this isn't working. Step back, look at it objectively, and say, can I adjust the frequency on this? And that way you're doing a new beginning with a different frequency, aren't you? And you're learning something in the process. Yes, some things you do need to slam the door on, because it's just not the right time or not the right energy for you. Because you want to bring in the highest and best. When you do that, you're allowing yourself to appreciate who you are. And When you look at energy, everything's either love-based or fear-based. If you get rid of the fear-based, those are your blockages. That's what's telling you, oh, you're not worthy, or you can't do that, or that's not good for you. You don't want that in your life. You want to adjust it, take the frequency of the higher love-based energy, which has unlimited potential. There are no boundaries or parameters that hold you back from achieving what you want in your life. And that's why tomorrows are so good, because it gives you another opportunity, doesn't it? You're not saying, oh, I didn't do it today, so I give up. No, always look for tomorrow. Always look for the love-based energies, because then you're always moving forward. Nobody can dictate to you what you can achieve and what you can't, except you yourself. So let go of the limitations. That little angel and devil on your shoulder, get rid of that guy. Focus on what you want, but know what you want. That's also part of the new beginnings. A lot of times I'll ask clients, okay, what do you want in your life? And they'll go, I have no idea. What do you enjoy doing? I don't know. I says, well, that's why I asked you the questions, because all I see is that you're taking care of responsibilities. If you just take care of responsibilities, you're not recharging yourself. You're not allowing yourself to grow. You're not going to prosper and be living life. You're just existing. We didn't come here just to be robots, just to take care of other people, just to do our job. We came here to learn. We came here to live, love, and learn how to work through issues. And when we start appreciating ourselves, we're doing that. But it takes a little bit of knowing what we want and who we are. I love teaching, because every time you teach, you're relearning things that you've already learned. It's also in the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. There's nothing new on the earth that hasn't been learned before. We're regurgitating things that have been ancient wisdom and hidden. So now that we're relearning it, it's new to us. But it's in our DNA, in our vibrations, so we can tap into it by letting go of the fear and allowing ourselves to accept the knowledge. But when we connect with our energies, and one thing I love to teach is a class called Who Am I, Where Am I? It's part of our curriculum, because we change throughout our life. And by knowing who we are at this time, what our likes and dislikes are, what our beliefs are, we're able to find things that we would enjoy to bring into our life. Think about it. What things do you want to bring into your life that you don't have in your life now? Do you know what you want? Or is it time for you to discover? Because when you're discovering, you're opening the door for those new beginnings, aren't you? Don't you think you're worth it? That's another thing that startles people when I say, aren't you worth it? And I had one woman cry. She says, nobody ever told me I was worthy. And I'm going, everyone's worthy. Every single person has a purpose. No one person is better than another throughout the universe. We may like some people better. We may not like some people at all. It doesn't mean that they are not important, because everyone is. And when they allow themselves to be appreciated by especially learning to appreciate themselves, giving themselves a new beginning, a new recognition, then you're going to start seeing who they are inside. And you're going to say, wow, what a difference. Because when someone feels bad about themselves, they're not exhibiting all their potential. When someone allows years of manipulation or put downs or whatever their issues were that they had to deal with, get to them, it's hard for them to glow. And we all have that glow within us. We just have to open that door and allow it to come out. And then you can be the beacon that you're supposed to be. And when we have issues in our life, those are things that we're supposed to learn and grow from. Understand that before we're born, we agreed, okay, I will deal with this, I will deal with that. So don't give up on it. Understand that this was something you agreed to so that you would not only help yourself, but you would help others that have connections with you so that they can be stronger and more apt in everything they do and everything they feel about themselves. Because when we love ourselves, it's easier to love others because we have more compassion. Because we learn to accept our own foibles and imperfections of our material plain person. And then we can have that spiritual insight and understand, hey, we're all going to school. So when I'm going to school, and when I don't want to stay in high school forever, because high school for most people wasn't a good thing. We all compared ourselves with other people. Oh, that person's prettier, that person's more intelligent. Oh, they're more popular. And we criticize ourselves. So we need to get out of that vibration and tweak that dial a little bit so we can get into a higher vibration of acceptance and understanding. And that's what a large dose is needed around the world. But it starts here, our little microcosm, and then it'll go out into the macrocosm. So if each person learns to love and accept themselves, can you imagine what an impact that would have on the world? Many years ago, they did an experiment. I think they got 11 healers in this one city. And for a designated amount of time, I think it was 2 to 4 hours a day, every day for a month, the healers got together in a circle and they sent out healing. Every single day during the time that the healers were sending out healing, there was no crime, absolutely zero in that city. There were no accidents. No one was brought into the hospital during that time frame. And that's just 11 healers for a whole city. Can you imagine if every person, just for an hour a day, sent out healing to the world? Everyone around the world, asking not to interfere with free will, but to have the healing go out to anyone who is willing to receive it. That's putting out a lot of power, isn't it? And when you give healing, You're receiving it because you're channeling it. So it's building up your love and healing as well. The universe is a mirror. What we put out, we receive. If we put out, I'm not worthy, then the universe is going to send that back to us. And people that come into our vibration are going to think of us that way. But if we put out, I'm caring and considerate of others, we will receive that in return. In metaphysics, they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. And that's the philosophy that shows, and it's been proven scientifically, what metaphysicians have known for thousands of years, that that is exactly what happens. They've been able to measure the vibration in another test with plants. They put wires on plants as sensors. And every day when someone came to feed the plants, they saw a certain vibration come up on the sensors. So they tried an experiment. They moved some of the plants 2 rooms away. And every single day, at the time they were supposed to get fed, the plants reacted. Whether they were in the room with the person feeding them or not. So they said, okay, we've got to expand this. And again, they took some of the plants and put them a mile away. Same exact thing. Some of the plants that were a mile away had the same response. So then I said, okay, how far is this? They took some and went 3,000 miles away. Same exact thing. Why is that important? Because it shows that the higher vibrations, there's no limitations. But it also works with negative energy. Years ago, I was teaching one of my classes the difference between when you're giving healing, how you can feel the energy. So at first I said, okay, I want you to feel the difference between negative energy and loving energy. So I said, I want you divide yourself in half. In the inner circle, you're going to sit in a chair, and I want you to think a negative thought, something that made you angry or sad, but something like that. And the healer behind you, I want you to just hold your hands behind them, and I want you to see what you can feel. After about 2 minutes, the healers had to back away because it was so intense. So I says, okay, shake that off, bring through some positive energies, and then I want the person in the chair to think a loving thought. Think of the birth of your child or a puppy or a kitten, whatever really makes you feel joyous in here. Sure enough, it was like everyone was glowing because they felt the dramatic difference. So it shows we always have time for tomorrow, and it shows that love is where you want to be. So Happy New Year, and may you all embrace the love and new beginnings. I thank you.